He is very like immature, so he doesn't take like his responsibilities. Like he's not like a responsible person.
You recently have had another baby that you are alleging belongs to Mr. Smith, correct?
Yeah.
What has he said that was required before you got your daughter?
Either I have to give him money or
This case was originally filed with Dad as the custodial, but I believe Ms. Cusack is going to be asking that Mom be granted made primary, and the state has no objection to that. And the state would just ask that child support and medical support be ordered. It's going to be asking for the minimum wage presumption. I'll have Ms. Earls testify here in a minute that she looked and didn't find anything on him, but we know he's not in jail. So, and I'll defer my case to Ms. Cusack if that pleases the court.
All right, well, she's the ad litem and she's making the request on behalf of her client. She has that right. So let's go ahead and get that opening statement then, Ms. Cusack. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Yes, on temporary orders, we have two moving parts involved in this, which is why we're not finalizing right now. Well, setting aside also the issue that the person who filed as the CP is the one we are defaulting today. But on top of that, there are two other issues, two other moving parts. There are some allegations that the mother has made of sexual assault against the father. He was incarcerated for a period of time longer than 90 days, but he is currently out on bond. That has not finalized, so that's one moving part. The other moving part is that the mother has recently had another child with this with the same father, and that child is less than a month old. And so the state is going to have to amend their pleadings to add that child to this process. So that's why we're requesting temporary orders at this time. I'm asking that the mom be named the primary conservator. I think we can probably defer sole managing until the criminal case either settles or until we have a final hearing on those amended pleadings. As I've said, there are allegations of family violence. It makes it problematic when it comes to possession orders. I don't think that there's any evidence that the father would hurt the child, but there is evidence that the father would hurt the mom. So if we have any kind of visitation, meaning overnight visitation, I would suggest that maybe it's just standard possession order weekends, not any longer period of time. And I would ask that any meetup location be at the police station for obvious reasons, including safety. The other issue is that the evidence will probably show that there's some possession control issues. The mother will probably testify that the father has used threats of harm to has used the child to try to get what he wants at times. So I would ask that if there's possession, that it's at a neutral location where law enforcement can be involved. As far as support, and as for possession of the baby, that child is not yet included in the pleadings, so we would ask for no possession yet. And also, this is an infant, and he has not met the infant, so I would ask for no possession at this time for the baby. That too, Judge. So I think legally we're not ready for that yet, and then there are other issues why we're not ready for that yet. As far as support, if we can get minimum wage support, I'm sure that would be helpful for mom. I don't know if the fact that he was locked up for 4 months makes a difference or not. He's currently out on bond from what mother has said. As far as communication goes, I would ask for non-disclosure given the family violence allegations in this case, and I would ask that the parties communicate via app close.
Okay.
As far as the meetup possession, I would also ask for father to provide at least, I don't know, maybe 72 hours notice of his intent to exercise possession. So she knows whether to even go to the police station. Maybe 48 hours, just something where she knows, get in the car and meet him at the police station. And she's not just arbitrarily, going every Thursday or Friday or whatever. And I believe that covers it, Judge.
All right, then, and give me some data on when the child actually exchanged hands, okay?
I'm sorry, Judge, I didn't hear that. I was coughing.
I'm sorry. I'm doing the testimony. Give me some data on when actually the child changed hands from dad to mom, okay?
Okay.
All right, Miss Bradley, you need to turn on your video, ma'am, and raise your right hand. I'll swear you in. All right, ma'am, do you solemnly swear or affirm your testimony you're going to give here today? Raise your right hand, ma'am, sorry. Do you swear that the testimony you give here today is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, you're under oath, and I'm going to let the state and Ms. Kuzak call you as a witness. And at the end of the hearing, like I said, if there's anything else you think I need to know that didn't come out during your general testimony, so long as it's relevant to what we're doing here today, you'll be allowed to tell the court that data under oath. You may proceed at this time, Ms. Kuzak, with the witness. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Miss Bradley, you are Mackenzie's mom, correct?
Yes.
And then you recently have had another baby that you are alleging belongs to Mr. Smith, correct?
Yeah. Correct.
And so we've already had orders in this case where it's been kind of a split possession schedule, correct?
Correct.
Have you and Mr. Smith followed that schedule?
I always intended to follow it, but on his half, it's never like he doesn't follow the rules. It's always conflict, like on his part.
And
I don't
I'm
mind him.
Ma'am, here's the deal. Just answer the question. Don't go
Right.
down.
I'm sorry.
You started going down a path there.
Well, and I'm not asking for an enforcement reason. What I'm saying is, you guys just really have not followed that schedule very closely, right?
Right.
Okay. Have there been some possession control issues where you've wanted to get your daughter and he has not allowed you to get your daughter?
Yes, all the time.
And then what has he done to, what has he said that was required before you got your daughter?
Either I have to give him money or, spend some time with him, that, it could be numerous of things. Like, yeah, he uses her as a pawn, pretty much.
Okay. So he makes something happen before he hands the child back over, right? I'm sorry, did you say yes?
Yes, correct.
Were some of those things the basis of this allegation that you've made against him? Like some
Yes.
of what did you allege against him that he's currently charged with?
Sexual assault.
Okay. Did he basically threaten you that he was not going to hand over the child unless you engaged in some sort of contact with him?
Yes.
Has he done that more than once?
Yes.
Because of that, do you think it would be better for your child for you to have a more strict possession schedule and a little more control over where this child is?
Definitely. I agree.
Are you asking the judge to make any pick up and drop off location at a police station?
Yes.
You're currently living in Temple, is that correct?
Correct.
Do you have a working vehicle?
As of right now, no, but I do have people to come get me if needed.
Okay. Does Mr. Smith lives in the Killeen area to your knowledge, correct?
To my knowledge, yes.
Do you know if he has a working vehicle?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay. The last time you and I spoke when you were doing the kind of split possession schedule, he had some transportation issues, right?
Yes.
Are you asking for the meetup location to take place at Temple Police Department downtown?
Yes.
Okay. Are you asking for primary custody, asking to be the one who has the exclusive right to determine where your daughter lives?
Correct.
As far as visitation goes, is it safe to say that you worry about your interaction with Mr. Smith? Well, I guess it is safe to say that. Do you worry about him hurting your daughter?
He is very like immature, so he doesn't take like his responsibilities. Like, how do I put this? He's not like a responsible person because like when he do have her, he don't even like have her like that. Like he be with his mom most of the time. So that's what I
Okay.
noticed. He always want to try to get her, but he never like have her. So it's like
So you
Yeah.
worry about his involvement with his daughter, but do you worry about him hurting her?
hurting her, not like as in like hurting her like as in abusive hurting her, but like neglecting.
Physical.
No, not physical, but like neglect, you know?
Okay. And so you and I have not really talked about visitation yet, but do you feel that that weekends would be appropriate for visitation, like the first, third, and fifth weekend of the month? If he did,
I don't
if he
mind.
exercise that.
I don't mind him seeing her. It's just that it's just never know like if I'm gonna get her back. That's the like because I can let her go with him. You know.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think I know what you're trying to say. Are you saying that in the past you've had situations where you've tried to get her back, and then that's when that control issue would happen, where
Multiple times.
he would require you to either give him money or something else to be able to get your daughter back?
Yes.
But if the judge sets clear times and dates and locations, that would make that meetup and drop off more enforceable from your standpoint. But do you still have concerns about that? I see you shaking your head. Do you still have concerns about that?
Well, Ms. Kuzak, this is enough on that. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so
Mr. Good, I'm more interested in knowing about what these criminal charges are, where they're pending, what he's charged with. Is he out on bond? Does he have restrictions on the bond where he can't be anywhere near the mom? You raised some questions here that I think I need to know before we go any further on this, on the items as far as whether or not I'm going to grant him access and how to grant him access. Thank you.
I agree, Judge. I don't have any specifics about the terms of the bond. I can ask Miss Bradley. Miss Bradley, you told us previously that the initial date he was locked up on the charges, and we'll talk about what the charges are in a minute, but the initial date was June 12th, 2023, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then he was in jail for approximately 4 months and recently is out on bond, correct?
Correct.
And how recent was that? Like, when did that happen?
About 4 days ago, I believe,
Okay.
when they called me, let me know. And they said that he's not allowed, like he's like on a restricted area because they needed my address. So yeah.
They needed your address so that they could add that to a restricted list?
Safe zone, yeah, like a safe zone type of deal.
Okay. So there is some sort of restriction against being around you at this point, correct?
Yes.
And so to tell the judge clean up on the criminal issue, do you know the specific charges, that the high end, not what they're discussing, whether there's a plea or not, but the charges that he was currently arrested for? What are those charges?
What's up?
I'm sorry, did you hear that, or did it cut out for you?
It wasn't. It was her side. Thank you.
Okay. So, can you say that one more time, Ms. Bradley?
He was charged with sexual assault.
Sexual assault. Okay. And then, So he was charged with sexual assault, and are you the complaining victim?
Yes.
Okay. As far as financials go, he hasn't had a job. He frequently does not have a job. Is that correct?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, he does not, I mean, he just got out of jail, so he's not, to your knowledge, he does not have a job, right?
Correct. He's
Okay.
never.
And then I can't remember if I asked you, but you recently had another baby as well, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And you're alleging that Mr. Smith is the father of that child, correct?
Correct.
And I pass the witness, Judge.
All right, okay, I got a couple of things here. All right, ma'am, let me stop this. You say, okay, he was arrested 4 months, he spent 4 months in jail before he bailed out, correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, and the only thing he was charged with that you're aware of is that sexual assault against you. That's what he bonded out on, correct?
Yes.
All right, where is he living now?
Not that I know of, but I'm thinking Colleen, since he has family in the area.
You don't know where he lives?
No.
All right, has he had any personal contact with you since he's gotten out of jail?
No, I haven't talked to him.
And you know, you don't know who his attorney is for the criminal. Do you know who his attorney is for the criminal matter?
No, I do not.
I can answer that, Judge.
Okay, who is attorney, please?
It's Miss Melissa Boyd, Tyrock Boyd.
Okay. All right, Miss Kuzak, I'm going to need. We're probably going to need to reset this because right now I'm looking at naming her temporary, so no access. But I need a lot more information about this guy's current charges and his current bond and what restrictions he has and that sort of thing. Because yeah, it's going to play into this, and I also need to know where he's living and who he's living with, and I don't think anybody has that right now. Correct?
That's correct. The last time I've heard, I thought he lived with like a sibling or a cousin or something like that, but that was before the charges. That was before all of this. I would just ask for some sort of.
Where's his mom live?
I actually
Not
don't
that I
know
know
that.
of.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Where's his mother live?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Okay. All right. So go ahead, Ms. Kuzak. Thank you.
I would just ask for some sort of order on possession because we currently have an order. I want to think it was a split possession schedule.
Well, I'm going to stop all possession until I get more information about these charges, ma'am. So yeah,
right.
I'm looking at naming mom sole MC. I'm looking at we're going to restrict her possession to bail or contiguous counties into further order, but I need a lot more before I can go down the path of what I can give him one way or the other. And
okay.
it really goes around that criminal charge because again, he's always got conditions he's got to meet for his bond, and I need to know what those conditions are and where he's actually living and whether or not we can even actually get that information. So, and you say you do have a copy of the exact charges and what he was in jail for, Ms. Kuzak. You have that?
I do not.
All right, we need to get a readout on that also. We can find out what that is too. All right, Mr. Donovan, questions, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, yes, please, Your Honor.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Bradley, what do you do for? Well, first of all, the new baby. What's that baby's name?
Janaya Bradley.
What's her full name, ma'am?
Janaya Novarain Bradley.
Okay, and when was Janaya born?
10-6-23.
And who's her father?
Davon Smith.
Okay. To your knowledge, has he completed an acknowledgement of paternity?
No.
Okay. What do you do for health coverage for your two children?
I'm on Medicaid Superior.
So all three of you are on the grant?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know if Mr. Smith has other children?
Yes, he does.
How many children does he have that you know of?
One that I know for sure.
Okay. And do you know if that child's mother has him on child support?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know if Mr. Smith is he former military?
No.
Okay. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, ma'am, do you know whether or not he has any other criminal convictions out there?
Not that I know of.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything on redirect, Ms. Kuzak?
No, Judge.
All right, okay, guys. Again, what I'm looking at, I need more data. I'm looking at, like I say, making a temporary order. I'm gonna name mom, temporary sole manager conservator. The state right now, he just got out of jail, so he's only been out the last few days. So I'll go ahead and I'll order. And I'm sorry, does the state wish to call the CSO and show whether or not? Obviously, there's no recent current monies coming in. So do you need to? I'm looking at doing the minimum wage resumption and not starting anything until the 1st of December on that, Mr. Diamond, and coming back once I got all the other information that's necessary. So
no objection, Your Honor. No objection to that, Your Honor.
All right, then. But like I said, I'm looking at doing, like I said, temporary. So mom gets the right to decide domicile. That the right's restricted to Bell County and contiguous counties. I'm gonna go ahead and order child support for the one child that's before the court. I'm going to go ahead and order no visitation going forward until we get an update on all the criminal charges and the restrictions that are there for the father, based on the fact that the alleged criminal act was against the mother. So again, until we get this ironed out, I'm going to order that there be no face-to-face visits until further order of the court. I will allow him to have exercise FaceTime visits with the child every Sunday at 6 p.m. Have y'all been using app close, ma'am, or y'all been just using your regular cell phones and data plan and email and text messaging?
Regular messenger, you could say, just regular, texting.
All right then. Well, I'm gonna leave that. I'm sorry, ma'am. What were you going to say, please?
Oh, I'll download app close.
All right. Well, go ahead. Let's use app close. Hopefully, he has an electronic device and he can use it. But I'll order that going forward. He has to let you know at least 72 hours in advance that he's going to try to do his Sunday visitation electronically, so he can do that through app close, the app close messaging part of that. I'm going to go ahead and I'll see with Ms. Kuzak in a moment when she's going to be back here. And either sometime after Thanksgiving or the first of next month, so I can do the reschedule and hopefully we get an update on all the criminal things, charges, prior convictions, if any, that sort of thing, and what the bond restrictions are as far as mom's concerned. I'll have you see if you can contact his attorney to see what we can do. Obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and order DNA paternity analysis for the new child. And I'm looking at maybe another temporary hearing in December, but obviously the DNA won't be back by then. But I'm just trying to get to see what I want to do one way or the other, dealing with the visitation and whether or not the father's been able to get a regular job in the interim, where we can look at child support going forward based on his current employment. So, Ms. Kuzak, anything else you need on this one? And when are you coming back? And are you coming back that last week of November after Thanksgiving? Or are you going to be, or when are you coming back to this court on a general docket date in December?
I'm coming back on the 7th of December. I have a hearing with you.
All right, then you're a good old Pearl Harbor Day. Miss Bradley, is the 7th of December fit with your schedule, ma'am?
Yes.
All right then. We'll go ahead and do the reset for that date. And like I said, the restrictions are in place until we come back and get an update on those other items. So is there anything else specifically I need to rule on in the behalf of your client, Ms. Kuzak?
I believe the non-disclosure right now, and then,
Oh yeah, I got a grant non-disclosure with that pending criminal. Yes. Anything else?
right. No, Judge, I think that was it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that's in
Well, let me-
the requirement. So yeah. So
And let me just
and
clarify.
obviously, and that'll be in the court file. So if the lawyer doesn't give it to you, or you have trouble getting hold of her, just get a copy of the criminal file. In fact, get a copy of the whole file. It's going to be that thick, so it's going to be real thin. So yeah. Okay. Anything else from the state's point of view that I need to rule on, Mr. Diamond?
No, Your Honor, it was all covered.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Again, the charges are very, very serious, so I got to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's when we're dealing with this one, and I'll see you back next month in December. May Ms. Bradley be excused at this time, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kuzak, is she free to go, or do you need to talk to her in the breakout room for anything?
Yes, sir, I'm fine, thank you.
All right, Ms. Bradley, free to go, and we'll see. Have a happy and safe Thanksgiving, you and the kids, and we'll see you after that, okay?
Thank you.
All right, if you have any questions, ma'am, or anything pops up, let the ad light them know. Thank you.